I hope we are in a good condition. Okay, in this day, we would like to share about our material of the day about multiple intelligence and classroom management.
This material will be presented by Fikrimas Tanuriyah, Koni Atul Fitriana, and Utari.
Okay, the first time I will start my presentation about multiple intelligence theory and classroom management. A classroom is a micro-society complete with student citizens, many of whom have competing needs and interests. So, in multiple intelligence theory, teachers are faced with many types of management strategies that they have used or might to keep order and ensure a smoothly running learning. Gaining students' attention. The use of multiple intelligence in the classroom management can be seen in the ways in which teachers have attempted to get their students' attention at the start of a class or new learning activity. Okay, I want to tell you about several other strategies for keeping student attention in the classroom. Number one is linguistic. We can give an example like write the word in the blackboard. Silent please. Number two, about musical. We can give example like clap a short rhythmic praise and have students clap it back. Clap one, clap two, clap three. Number three, about bodily kinesthetic. We can put our finger again in our lips to suggest silent. Keep silent please. While holding our other arm up and have students mirror our gesture. Number three, about special. Put up, blown up the photo like this to attentive classroom on the board. So the student can perhaps a photo of the actual students involved. Number five is logically mathematical. So we can use a stopwatch to track the current time wasted and wrote on the blackboard the number of seconds lost in 30-second intervals. Number six is about interpersonal. So we can whisper in a student's ear. For example, we tell him not be noisy, the students, and time to get start spread it active, and then wait while students pass message around the room. And then is number seven, about intrapersonal. We can give example. We start teaching the lesson and let the student pick up, take responsibility for their own behavior. And the last is about naturalist. We can place a recording of a scheduled part shepherd whistle or pedestal, and bring live animals into the classroom, and in general or anytime there are animal visitors in the classroom that where student attention is focused. Now I want to tell you about preparing for transition. Preparing for transition is to help prepare students for transition. You can teach the class specific cues for each type of transition. Example like in the music. When focus on musical intelligence, for example, you could explain that you would use different in determining selection of music to cue different transition. Races, Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony is Symphony number 6. Lunch, Food Noble Food from Oliver, Stop the Coin Home, move from Dvorak's New World Symphony.
I will explain the next material. It's about special intelligence. For preparing for transition to the children that have special intelligence is you might use graphic symbol or picture to signal that it's time to get ready for an event. For example, it's time to lunch. You can draw a kid eating in a cafeteria, and then in its bodily kinesthetic, you might use specific gesture or body movement to signal welcome event. And for example, when the lunch come, you can rubbing stomach and licking lips. Okay, the next point is communicating class rule. You can communicate the school or classroom rules for proper conduct through a multiple intelligent approach. And asking students to have classroom rules is a common way of gaining their support of rules. There are some way for each intelligence. Example for linguistic, you can write rules in the blackboard or on the paper and post in the classroom. And for logical mathematics, rules are number and letter referred to by number. And when your children have special intelligence, the way is rules are written by graphic symbol of what to do and what not to do. And next, when your student have bodily kinesthetic intelligence, you can communicating class rule by gesture and differences gesture. Musical intelligence, you can communicating class rule by sing a song. And for interpersonal, you can make a small group of students then give their responsibility interpreting and even forcing. For intrapersonal, you may leave your children to creating the classroom at the beginning and developing their own unique ways of communicating them to others. And the last is naturalist. You can communicating class rule by the environment.
It's forming group. Usual we use counting or students choose their their groups by themselves, but in Meteorite, it provides some strategies. Like in linguistic, teacher can make a sentence like this. Think of a vowel sound in your first name. Now make the vowel sound out loud. Go around the room and find 3 or 4 people who are making the same vowel sound. So the key is vowel sound, the same vowel sound. Second intelligence is logical mathematical. We can use fingers in this forming group. Teacher can say like this: when I give the signal, I want you to raise between 1 and 5 fingers. Go, now keep those fingers raised and find 3 or 4 people who raise fingers combined with your total and odd number. So, students can find their group by who is students that raise the fingers combine the totally his or their rise and odd number. The third is spatial. It is like visual. The teacher can give instruction like find the students that wearing clothes same like the teacher, same like the students. In the next is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So in this intelligence, you can make a movement like hopping on foot. So the students can find the other student to make a group by to find the students that hopping on same foot. In a musical, same like bodily kinesthetic, you can play some music and the students can find the other students that sing the same music. And the naturalist intelligence, you can make a picture of animal to make a group or to forming group. After I explain about the forming group, now I will explain about the managing individual behaviors. So in this item, managing individual behaviors is when we base the differences or the difficulties of behavior of the students. But in the me theories, they provide some strategies to managing individual behaviors. Like in linguistic, you can talk with students, provide books for the students that refer to the problem and point to solution. So you can help the student use self-talk strategies for gaining control. And then in the logical mathematical, you can have the student quantify and chart the occurrence of negative or positive behaviors. And in the spatial intelligence, have the student draw or visualize appropriate behaviors, provide the student with a metaphor to use in working with the difficulty. For the example, if someone or people say the bad things to you, you can see the bad things as the arrows that you can judge. We can say to this like we can say this to our student. The bodily kinesthetic, so we can use the movement like the example taking a deep breath, tightening and relaxing muscle. In a musical intelligence, find musical selection that will with the issue the student is facing. Provide music that helps create the appropriate behavior. And we can also choose the music that can relax them by the problem that they have faced. And in the interpersonal, we can build the group counseling, and then we can buddy up the student with a role model. In the intrapersonal, there are some strategies we can use to managing behavior of the students. First is teach the student to voluntarily go to non-punitive time out area to gain control. Second is provide one-to-one counseling. Third, develop a behavior contact that the student has input in creating. Fourth, give the student the opportunity to work on high interest project, and then provide self-esteem activities. Naturalists, we can tell animal stories that teach about improper and proper behavior. Use animal metaphor in working with difficult behavior, and use animal assistant therapy to help with social, emotional, and cognitive functioning. So we can use the stories of animal to give inspiration to them to make a good behavior.
So I want to tell you about taking a broader perspective. Multiple intelligence theory is valuable, however, because it provides teachers with the means to short took a broad range of behavioral strategies and discipline system, and offers guidelines for selecting a limited number of interventions to try out based upon the student's individual difference. The above strategy, of course, cannot employ a comprehensive professional team approach to students' emotional problems or behavioral difficulties. Having problems, sometimes the best strategy for students might be one that match poorly if a student has developed behavior. Okay guys, thank you for attention. We are so sorry if have so many mistake. See you next time, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.